What's going on, people? Welcome back to AFTV. As you can see, we're outside Emirates to preview this Saturday's game of 5:30 p.m. kickoff against Brentford. Of course, Arsenal fans will be buzzing for this game to face the Bees, and hopefully we'll sting them like we did last time, a 1-0 win by Havertz. I'm joined by James and Laurie, but before we get into the breakdown...
You worked on that intro, didn't you?
Always. Before we get into the breakdown of the preview, let's hear a word from our sponsors.
This video is partnered with Aura, digital protection for everything that matters. It's a VPN, antivirus, password management and parental control all in one place. You can get them all together at one affordable price.
I've been using Aura because it shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits an opt-out request for me.
Data brokers sell your information to scammers, spammers and anyone else who may want to target you. Cleaning up my information not only helps me to reduce the amount of spam I get, but also protects me from hackers who are trying to access my social media accounts, bank accounts, or other sensitive information.
Aura is always on, doing the hard work of keeping me safe so I can focus on other tasks with peace of mind.
You can go to aura.com/AFTV to start your free 2-week trial or click the link in the video description below.
Big up to Aura. Let's talk about the game. I mean, it's Saturday, 5:30 p.m. kickoff. Arsenal in fine form, smashing teams, absolutely decimating them. Let's just get straight into it. How are we feeling ahead of this game, James? Are you feeling like it's going to be another 6, 5, 7s, 8s, or a bit more of a normal
Let's just take the win, shall we?
Can I say I did the humble thing ahead of Sheffield United, and it wasn't just let me protect myself. It was a genuine. I saw the way they performed against City, Liverpool, Spurs, United, Chelsea. All of them at some point had to work hard for winning against Sheffield United. I thought maybe against a traditional Big Six, and with all due respect, maybe not the others who want to go a bit more punch for punch with, that's where they've actually had some defensive success. We steamrolled them. It was, and I said I'm not trying to sort of be rude about Sheffield United, but just for that one game alone, it was one of the easiest 90 minutes of football I've ever seen Arsenal play in the Premier League, genuinely. Brentford won't give us that. Now, they do have injury problems, we'll go into that. They're not in great form, we'll go into that.
Yep.
But I still trust Thomas Frank as a manager, and I still trust that Brentford group of players to just show more fight, be more resilient, and ask Arsenal more questions. But I am feeling excited, and it is because we have an opportunity to take top of the league for a night before what happens between the other two, which might even sit us top of the league into the international break, and that has got to be the prize for Arsenal. Like, to go into what would be basically a 3-week break top for that whole time, that would be really, really big for this group.
How important is it, James? I'm going to come back to you on that, because last season were the ones leading for so long, 258 days. How important is it for Arsenal to get this win, to kind of
huge
back on top?
No, big. I'll tell you why, because I think we're all doing this thing, which I totally understand in theory, this whole maybe being 2 points behind suits us better than being 5 points ahead like last season. Yeah. I think maybe there is something to that, going more under the radar, less pressure. I hear that. But I'm telling you, at the end of the season, you want to be the team that were 5 points ahead, not 2 points behind. Yeah. So at some point, you do have to make those points back. City and Liverpool are going to take points off each other this weekend, one or the other or both. Do I know for sure they're definitely going to drop points in every other game? I think they are, but I'm not 100% sure. So you've got to capitalise on this at the very least.
That's a great point. Laurie, let me come to you. Thoughts ahead of Brentford, and like kind of what James touched on there, we will go top if we win, only for a period of time, depending on obviously the other results, but how important is this game for that?
Oh, it's massive. The whole run-in is going to be massive. 11 games left, all to play for, as I've been saying for a few weeks now. Every game is important, every result is important, every goal is important at this stage of the season. With regards to Brentford, unlike Sheffield United, who are pretty much, let's face it, they're down, dusted, clean. Brentford do have a lot to play for, because they're in danger of being dragged into the relegation places. It's a London derby, pride's at stake. I do expect them to come with something. There's the Toney factor as well.
We're going to get to that, yeah.
Which we'll come to. But yeah, so I'm expecting it to be a competitive game, but ultimately I'm expecting a game that Arsenal can and should win.
Okay, let's talk about Toney. You mentioned it there. I want to come to both of you on this. I mean, is it going to be an audition for him? Would you think come Saturday, do you feel like he's really going to... I think he's a great player, as we know.
No, he's had plenty of auditions. He doesn't need to prove anything. Ivan, take it easy. In fact, if you really want to join us, just take it easy, put one in your own net,
That's a good
and
point. Love that.
the crowd will cheer for you. If that's the move you really want.
That's a good way to audition.
That's
That's a
I'm
proper
pretty
way.
sure Ivan will look at it as a little knockabout with the boys.
Oh, we're going back. Everyone must be so tired of that. But do you know what?
No, but you know what? It's a very good point you make, because I would imagine, given the character of Ivan Toney that we know, I mean, we don't know him, but from what we've seen, I would imagine he'll be proper up for this game.
He's been a problem for Saliba and Gabriel before. Last season, the 1-1 draw in a game where, look, we did dominate, we should have won that game. Brentford still went long to Toney at times. We're really, really good at then creating transitions and moments from that. Transitions in the word, but going long, picking up the second ball and running at our goal and causing us some problems. And Toney is at the heart of that.
Yeah.
He will be a problem on the weekend.
Do you believe that even with Saliba and Gabriel, like you said, it has caused problems before, but we've seen this season, I feel like Saliba and Gabriel have just gone to another level. They deal with Haaland, they deal with these problem strikers quite comfortably.
Okay, so what Arsenal have become really good at doing in their defensive shape is pressing to force an error. And if you don't force an error, then they go long. But if you do go long, either Saliba or Gabriel sweep up, or if they're not going to win that battle, what they do is have a Rice there to sweep up the second ball that drops, or if Saliba goes to the header, Gabriel sweeps up and picks up the second ball. So you've got just physicality and energy and a great structure around. That means basically, if you go long, we're going to pick up, if not that first ball, then certainly the second or third. But the thing with Ivan Toney is he is the best target man in the league. I'm not saying he is a target man. He is way more than that, by the way. He's a very good ball player. He can carry, he can pass, he can whatever. But if you're talking about going long, protecting it, since Harry Kane left
Haaland's
the
up
division,
there,
I don't know if
I
there's...
think he protects the
Well,
ball
you know
well.
what it is
Haaland
about-
can be very good at it, but
with
Ivan
Ivan
Toney on
Toney-
his day is
Yeah, I agree.
unreal,
Listen,
isn't it?
Owoni's quite good at it as well for
No,
Nottingham Forest.
listen,
Yeah, they're all.
Um,
You're right.
James-
They're good, but
There's-
I think Toney might be
Ollie
number
Watkins,
one
I think,
with
is
that.
great at holding up. But us,
Yeah. But what I'm saying
That's
is,
a-
and I do agree,
discussion.
Ivan Toney will be a threat. And Ivan Toney, I've been an advocate for his for some time. I do like him as a player. And one of the things that marks him out amongst strikers is his temperament. I think he's got a big game temperament.
Yeah, he has.
I think he's got a
Big
big
game player.
ego. I think games like this will appeal to that side
He's
of
got
his
a wonderful.
character.
Sorry to cut. He's got a wonderful way of not giving a. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
He
So
just isn't. Oh,
He will
in a
be
great
looking
way.
at this game and
Ben
he'll
White
be
has the-
thinking.
yeah,
He
yeah.
reminds me of Ben White in
Yeah,
that way.
yeah.
They're just both like, oh, Etihad is it?
No, but he'll be looking at this game and he'll be thinking, a bit like when he came back from his ban. Remember the first game
Yeah.
after the ban? He embraced that. You saw the way he strode out onto the pitch. He was loving that. And I think it'll be a similar thing with him this week. He'll be looking forward to this game. He'll probably try and play it down a little bit because he knows that everybody will be, the eyes of the world will be upon him as such. But, I think he will be looking forward to this game. He will want to make his mark. And it will be a good challenge for our guys.
And if I can give you one more thing on Toney, is that now Wiss has returned to the 11 up front. He's got a bit more pace. He's a bit more direct. He's a bit more of a natural threat in wider areas, channels, whatever. The thing with Mope is he puts himself about, but he's going to score now.
Oh, there you go. This is where I was going next.
No, but what I mean is, Toney's great at the hold up, look up. Is there a run being made? Mope, I'm not saying can't do that, but I think Wissa is more suited to playing off Toney in that way.
Well, Mope was left out for
Yeah.
their game last week against Chelsea.
Well, it's interesting because we was on DR's roundup and Flex just says like it's written for Mope to score and run to the camera and say, "Do the tie, you cheat." Like I just feel like it's going to be Ivan Toney or Mope that I'm actually worried. I think we will concede as well, but I think we'll concede.
But we
I think
shouldn't
we'll
make
win-
it
we should win
about
the game.
Mope and Toney.
No,
It
of
should be
course
about us trying to get the 3 points, which I'm sure the manager will be emphasising because we really are at the business end of the season now.
Yeah.
And every point, as I
It's-
said before, is crucial.
It's about 8 in a row. Last season, throughout all our unbelievable form, we never did more than 7. If we can make it 8 in a row, do that, and that would be the 8 games between the international break, Dubai trip, and now not the international break, the winter break, Dubai trip, and now all the way up until the next international break. City, Liverpool, Arsenal, all not involved in Premier League fixtures the following weekend because of the FA Cup draws or whatever, and the way that's all worked out. So we do our job. We are guaranteed going to the national break, into the international break, at least in the top 2, potentially top. And then you've got Porto. Now, I know everyone says one at a time, but you've got to be, in my opinion, motivating that group by saying, yes, stay focused, focus on what's to come right in front of you. But the prize at the end of this is you take 2 weeks to just sit on quarter-finals of the Champions League, which the club hasn't done since 2010, and top 2, if not top, of the Premier League. That is a massive, massive prize at the end of it. And I know I'm repeating myself, but I've been saying this since 4 or 5 games. Do you remember when we did that video, all of us presenters, talking about looking ahead of our next 5? And I said we should be targeting 5 out of 5, not just worrying about one game at a time, because that's what the Liverpools and Cities do. They know they can build that momentum and put that pressure. And if we, after 8 games, have found ourselves at the top of the tree, that'd be really good.
I must admit, I do see where you're coming from, but I'm a bit more cautious in regards. I'd rather take the one at a time approach, to be honest.
It's all hot air. Like, none of it really means anything, because ultimately they'll do both. They all know Porto's coming, but focus on this. But I'm just saying, as fans, I'm enjoying looking ahead at what to this time next week can look
as
like.
fans we will, but as players, I'm sure the message from the manager and the management team will be focus one game at a time. Because if you do that, then that's when you're more centred, if you see what I mean. You can't be looking at other results. I've said that to you guys, haven't I? I said, if I'm a player and manager, I'm not even focusing on what City Liverpool do this weekend. It's all about what we do on Saturday.
I hear
But it is difficult to not
It
look,
is,
to
but
not look
that
ahead,
has to be
because I even
the mindset.
I alluded to it at Sheffield. I was like, City, they always say City can go on these runs where they just win every game. I'm like, we're proving that we can literally go on a run and decimate teams. Why can't we get that respect? But some people don't care. But I feel like they should be looking at Arsenal like, oh, this is a problem. And if we get past Brentford and we get past the Porto, like you said, quarterfinals of the Champions League, and then it's kind of geared up on amazing momentum to play City, it's hard not to get a little bit carried away. But you're right, the task ahead is Brentford. And I want to read, the last 5 for both games. You mentioned about the form. Brentford drew 2-2 against Chelsea. In 2nd of March. Then that was the recent one, Wissa's bicycle kick. What a
You attempted it 3 times as well.
I know. I couldn't believe that. When they did the analysis, I was like, wow, he really was trying to get it. And then he got it. He got it. If you don't try it, what's the saying? Don't try and try again. If you don't succeed, try and try again.
We get the point.
You know what I mean? West Ham, they lost to West Ham 4-2. They lost to City 1-0, and they lost to Liverpool 4-1 before that, and then beat Wolves 2-0. So they're not in great form. Only one win out of the last 5.
They've not been on the Chelsea game was a good result.
Yeah,
but they've not been on the best form recently.
That's what I just said. They're not in good form.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, they're not in good form.
I'm sure you said something else.
No. And then we mentioned about Arsenal's form. Incredible. Obviously, their last game, 6-0 win against Sheffield United, a 4-1 win against Newcastle, a 1-0 defeat. Only the one blemish on our last 5, the Champions League against Porto. And then we obviously beat Burnley 5-0. Oh my God, reading out. West Ham 6-0. It's glorious. I'll be honest, it's nice.
I did a bit of research for a video I did, right?
Go.
The last 7 results have altered our season so much in terms of projections that before those 7 we were on course for something like 70-something points. We're now on course for 90-something points. Like, we were on course for something like 70-something goals scored. We're now on course for 96 goals scored. Sorry, it wasn't 90 points, it was 86 points. But we're on course for 90 plus goals scored. Like, what we've done is changed the complexion of our season so much with those 7.
I think after the Dubai break as well, I think the win probability of us winning the Premier League was like around 3%. It's now around 20-something% of who's most favourite for it. So you're right, it's just completely changed the narrative around us, and I'm sure the fans as well. It's incredible. We are going to do, what we expect to see from Arsenal's 11, but let's go into it. And we're going to have to start at goalkeeper, because we have to have a conversation about this. No David Raya, not eligible to play. So it's Aaron Ramsdale in goal. I want to get both your thoughts and feelings on it, because I feel like Robbie did mention that, he should have got half the game against Sheffield just to kind of ease him back into playing for Arsenal. Whether it would have mattered or not, I think that was actually quite a good suggestion, because really, he's going in a little bit cold for this game. There'll be a lot of pressure. We should still comfortably deal with Brentford, but a little bit more added pressure putting him back in the sticks.
Well, I don't know what you've got out of the Brentford second half.
The Sheffield.
Sorry, Sheffield United second half, because nothing to do. I think Arteta made it very clear. Rise is number 1, Ramsdale's number 2. We discovered that 5 months ago. So okay, fine. Ramsdale, whatever we think of who the better keeper is, and I think Raya's proven it now. I think he's certainly better for what this team needs, in my opinion, and he's doing a great job. Ramsdale is an ultra professional. I think I've never seen him. When he has come in the FA Cup against Liverpool or Brentford away, he has stood up to the task every time. Has it always been perfect? There's been the odd error, sure, but generally, he
felt nervy in the away game against Brentford, if I'm honest, but I didn't.
In the first half, in the second half, he really settled. he'll come in, he'll do a professional job, I've got no doubt. And look, the sad thing is he's probably playing for a move a little bit, and it's amongst the joy of everything that's going right, his situation is still something that's kind of going wrong, maybe for him on a personal level. But I think he'll just be happy Arsenal do really well. I think he'd love to end on some silverware. He'd obviously get a Premier League medal because he's played enough Premier League minutes, and then probably get some move. But he's got a massive opportunity to put us on top of the league. And hope that we stay there. So he could be the one that maybe edged us over the line in that front. But
it's
maybe a nice way to.
It's a good way to look at it. Laura, your thoughts on obviously Ramsdale?
Yeah, similar. The key word is what James said: being professional. He's employed by the club. Okay, it's unfortunate he lost his place, and we can stand here and debate that all day long. But as James said as well, the manager's call. He sees Raya as the way forward, and that's the way it's been. So the whole argument of Ramsdale is a little bit redundant now. But anyway, he's going to get an opportunity on Saturday. I hope he takes it, and I think he will. And I think he will be an integral part of our success on Saturday.
Nothing that can be done in this game for Ramsdale to maybe make a claim for any other game, any other fixture.
Unless Raya was to unfortunately get injured or something like that.
No, there's just nothing you can do, because we can't be talking about having the best defence in the league in terms of goals conceded, the underlying stats. Everything points towards that. And the thing is, the defence, we always talk, things trigger other things in a team. You'll know this, having played at a high level, and the confidence to look at that first goal that Ødegaard scored against Sheffield United. Gabriel's almost in the left 8 position. He's that high. Now, why are the defence so happy to go that high? Because they trust not only everyone around them to recover, but there's just a trust of what's going on. And I'm not saying that if a ball goes over the top, they know that Raya's going to sweep up everything. But I just mean generally the way we play. It's all about trust and connections and everyone understanding each other. And I think even to just make a change at goalkeeper, if you've got 95% of the ball against a team, it can have an impact. So just stick with what's working, and Raya will be the number one unless he just makes a series of unbelievable howlers and looks like he's playing against us.
And one thing I would say about Ramsdale, we all know he's very popular with the fan base. The game being at home, you'll get an amazing reception.
He will, that's true.
I think that will help him as well.
They'll be singing his name.
So yeah, I'm not expecting any hiccups. I think he'll do
You're
well.
right. Ødegaard spoke about trust on Monday Night Football about that. Like they can just do. They can just go. They can just go, press, and not worry about what's happening.
It's not like they've not played with him before. They know him well, vice versa.
You're right. I just think at that away game at Brentford, I feel like it was the first half. It was a bit shaky, but I suppose that happens. There's a change.
I think this is a little bit different. Like I said, I think the fans will give him a rousing reception.
And the motivation will be there from an Arsenal perspective. It will be for Ramsdale, because he's got the opportunity. I was listening to that's showing the overlap, Stick to Football, when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was on with Roy Keane, and Roy Keane was saying, look, there were players that maybe were annoyed they weren't playing as much, but when they came in, they had a really, really massive opportunity to, in less time, make a big impact on the season. And it might just be this one game, but if Ramsdale's a part of... Have we lost when Ramsdale's been in the team? We haven't, have we? I don't think we have. No. So he's putting points on the board when he is playing for us. He's got the opportunity to come in and try and be a part of that 8 in a row.
The Fulham game here at home, who was in... It was
that
early goal. It
was Ramsdale,
but it was a draw. Okay. So yeah, fair.
I mean, you do make a point, Cecil. Coming in after not being in the team for so long can be difficult. I mean, let's face it. When Thomas Partey played, when he come on against Sheffield United, he got caught napping a couple of times. So you are right to make that point. However, I do think that Ramsdale will respond to the occasion. Like I said, the rousing reception from the fans and the players, the support from the club, I think will see him through.
Yeah, big. It's going to be interesting to see. Let's go to the back line. I think it's going to be the same, but Tomiyasu might be potentially available, but I think it's too soon.
Yeah, same back four. They're all doing brilliantly, and there's a nice balance, so you stick with it.
I think
you don't really want to tinker it out unless it's absolutely
what
necessary.
I said about the goalkeeper, same thing. You don't want to.
So all the way through then. So even when Tomiyasu's had a few, he's fully fit. We come to City. Do you not consider...
Till that back four's not doing the job. I love Tomiyasu and Zinchenko and what they bring to this team, and I'm really loving what I think we're going to see from Jurriën Timber. But forget Timber, because he had a very unfortunate injury. Tomiyasu and Zinchenko haven't been able to prove their fitness, and so they're going to have to wait till that space opens in the team to attack it and take it back, because Kivior right now, he's not just not doing anything wrong, he's playing brilliantly. That no-look cutback from Martinelli was genius.
Yeah.
And
They say
he
that
deserves his
possession is
place.
9/10 of the law, and
love
he's
that
the
one.
man in possession, and he's doing well, like James says. So why would you change it?
Okay, no, I just wanted to see if like you agree with you keep the spot until you know things go wrong, because there's a big games coming up that people would question Kivior before, but now it seems like he's earned his right to play there. I wanted to see if
it's a
you guys would change.
meritocracy. If he's earned the right,
Keep him there.
Keep
Okay,
him
let's
there.
go to the midfield. Declan Rice, Odegaard. Does it change? who do you put?
I think you've got to
Jorginho?
stick with Jorginho.
He's been
I think you've got to
superb.
stick with him because of just at the level he's playing at. I love what we saw from Rice as that box-to-box midfielder the other day, got a goal and assist. And it's also because if you're dropping Jorginho, then what you're talking about is either Smith Rowe coming in, where he's kind of been in and out. You're talking about Vieira, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. Then you're talking about maybe Havertz, but Havertz is playing his best football in an Arsenal shirt up front right now. And Jesus, again, I thought he was slightly underwhelmed when he came on, but I acknowledge that he's had a lot of injuries. So Havertz keeps his place. I mean, quite frankly, the rest of the team with Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard as well, that would be my 11.
I think we
I
keep the
agree.
same.
The thing with Jorginho is he's come in and he's done a really good job. We've all seen that the past couple of weeks. And I've always said that with Jorginho, the only time he might have an issue is when we play what I call the more dynamic teams. So, for example, the City game, we go away.
I think he's dealt with
There
it.
might be an issue there. However, against Brentford at home, given the way he's been playing recently, absolutely he's got to start for me.
Yeah, I think you make a great point there. When the subs came on at Sheffield United, it wasn't as fluid. It actually felt a little bit disjointed. Listen, we normally look at those players like the Jesus Partey's as some of our best players in the club, but it did feel disjointed. I think what we've gone with so far.
That's kind of understandable. Partey's not played since October.
No, I'm not.
Now
I'm,
we're,
yeah, of
you know
course,
what I
of
mean?
course.
That's
It's
like
obviously
4 months.
It's
I thought
something,
Vieira
4 or
looked
5
good.
months.
It's something you expect, but I'm saying that I've been so impressed with the team that have stepped in and been winning and destroying teams of late that there was a bit of disjointness when they came in.
No, but what I'm saying is I don't expect them to come in and hit the floor running like. Not all of them. You said
No.
Vieira at
Yeah, I
the
thought he
subs probably
looked
had the
quite
most
good, yeah.
impact. For me, they came on at the right time because there was no danger of us losing that game. So I'm not expecting everyone to hit the ground running 100%. It's going to take time.
Of course,
So-
but some fans will say like, we're doing so well, we haven't even got our best team out there because Jesus is not out there or Partey's not out there. However, I feel like the team we're seeing week in, week out of late is our strongest team, and it's proven from what we're seeing. But on top of that as well, I saw Jesus come on, and I love Jesus, people. I think everyone knows that I love him. I think he's a street baller. I love the way he plays, but he slows down the play. And we saw it against Sheffield United, maybe lack due to, he hasn't played for so long, but he slowed it down, still did all the jinky stuff, but it wasn't working. When I watched the team without Jesus, we're so much more efficient and
Give
direct
it a couple
to goal.
of weeks, he'll work.
Well, let's hope so, but I think we just picked the team.
Our best team with everyone at their very best has Jesus in it, in my opinion.
Me too.
Okay.
We don't have that right now.
Right now, okay. Well, let me get your score prediction starting. I'm going to go to Laurie for this one. Laurie, score prediction for the game.
Right, so we've played Brentford twice already this season. One of those games me and you were at when we beat them in the League Cup, and then we beat them 1-0 away from home again. Yep. So if you're looking at where Brentford are in the table currently, which I think is 15th, we're on this amazing run of form, 7 games, 7 wins, 31 goals scored, only 3 conceded. It's difficult to imagine a world where we don't get the win. So that being said, I do think that Toney probably will pop up with a goal, but I still expect us to go on and win 3-1.
I've gone for 3-1.
You gone for 3-1 as well? Even are you alluding to the injuries that I haven't actually mentioned, but they've got quite a few injuries, Brentford.
Can you read that list?
And
Players that aren't playing.
Mbeumo, Ethan Pinnock, I know got a knock. I don't think he'll be there. Shard, Hickey,
Henry,
Rick
De Silva,
Henry,
me.
Josh De Silva.
That's a lot of players out.
A lot of players.
That is a lot.
I would just sound a little note
Frank's
of
a
caution.
good manager. He might figure it out.
Frank is a good manager. He's
like
good tactically. I think he'll set the team out accordingly to try and stop us, and with a counter-attack option with Toney and Wieser up front. So we all need to be watchful. But I am expecting a win.
Okay,
100%.
well, you've gone 3-1, you've gone 3-1. Obviously, there was a bit of controversy last season with this fixture. They didn't draw the lines. We lost out on that, and they obviously got Paul Toney in the VAR room. Still a bit of a worry for me, but I still think we get the job done. I'm not as confident as I was when I got back from America and predicted 6-0 against Sheffield. I'm more leaning towards everyone. A lot of people have gone with 3-1. I'm going to go with a 2-1, but it's a comfortable 2-1 We go 2-0 up, kind of control the game.
If it's
and they
2-1,
nick
we'll
back.
take it.
Of course, a
1-0. Yeah, I don't care.
As long as we
3
win.
points.
As long as we win. I want to do
Have
just
to win.
got to do a call out here as well. 10 p.m. live Sunday.
Yes, we
Forever
are.
Arsenal.
Yes, we are.
You lot are dedicated. I mean, I think you're waiting for obviously the City Liverpool
Yeah,
game.
we think Sunday night's good. It would be at the end of our last Premier League weekend for a few weeks. City facing the trip to Anfield. There'll be a lot to talk about, and I think a lot of people have a lot to say that night. So join us 10 p.m. Sunday night, Forever Arsenal live on AFTV.
Looking forward to that. I'll be there. I'll be watching as well. Big up. Well, that's it for this preview. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you think the game's going to play out? Who's going to win? You can also get t-shirts, which I love, the merch, the Rice Baby, currently one of my favourite players right now. You can get that on the shop.aftv.co.uk. Like the video if you like the video, and we'll see you guys again very soon. Take care.